There's a moment that almost no one talks about. You're overwhelmed. Not dramatically, just quietly. Too many thoughts, too many responsibilities, too much weight. Someone notices. They pause. And they say, "Hey, do you want help?" Your body reacts before your mouth does. A tight smile. A small shake of the head. "No, I'm good." And the moment passes. If that sentence felt familiar, this video isn't an accident. Because people who avoid asking for help don't usually think of themselves as struggling. They think of themselves as capable, as strong, as independent. And psychology has something very uncomfortable to say about that. Let's start here. Some people learned very early that asking for help came with a cost. Maybe help arrived late. Maybe it came with judgment. Maybe it came with reminders, after everything I've done for you. So the brain adapted. Not loudly. Not consciously. Quietly. It learned that needing others felt unsafe. Psychologists call this hyper-independence, but that word hides the truth. This isn't confidence. It's self-protection. These people become impressive adults. They solve problems fast. They don't panic easily. They rarely ask questions. But inside, their nervous system is always on guard. Because asking for help doesn't feel neutral. It feels like exposure. Does this sound like someone you know? Or maybe, like you? Here's where it gets more subtle. There's another group who don't avoid help because they don't trust people. They avoid it because they don't trust their own worth. They feel valuable when they're useful, when they're contributing, when they're holding things together. Psychologically, their self-esteem is conditional. If I give, I belong. If I need, I'm a burden. So they become the dependable one, the strong one, the one others lean on. But notice something important. They rarely lean back. Asking for help would flip the roles, and that feels dangerous. Because who are they if they're not the strong one? Pause for a second. Have you ever felt guilty for needing support? As if your struggle inconvenienced people? That's not maturity. That's a belief learned too early. Now here's a pattern people mistake for confidence. There are individuals who are deeply invested in how they're perceived. Not in a flashy way, in a competence way. They are the reliable one, the calm one, the one who always knows what to do. That identity took years to build. So when they don't understand something, or feel overwhelmed, or need assistance, their brain doesn't think, "I should ask." It thinks, "I can't let this image crack." Psychology shows that for these people, vulnerability doesn't feel emotional. It feels reputational. They don't fear rejection. They fear disappointment. So they struggle quietly. Google obsessively. Overwork. And no one sees how close they are to burning out. Does this sound familiar? Think of someone who always seems fine until suddenly they're not. There's another pattern that hides even deeper. Some people avoid asking for help because they don't trust what will happen after they open up. If they start talking, will they cry? Will they unravel? Will everything they've been holding back spill out? Psychology calls this emotional containment fear. When someone has spent years suppressing emotions, vulnerability feels like opening a door they won't be able to close. So they minimize instead. It's not that bad. I'll handle it later. Other people have it worse. But the cost of that control is disconnection, even from themselves. Let me ask you something quietly. Have you ever avoided asking for help because you didn't want to feel everything that came with it? That avoidance isn't weakness. It's fear of emotional overload. Now let's touch a pattern almost no one recognizes in themselves. Control. Some people don't ask for help because help feels unpredictable. They've been misunderstood before, mishelped, overruled. So their brain decides, if I do it myself, at least I know how it ends. Psychologically, this comes from environments where reliance led to chaos. So independence becomes a form of control, not empowerment. They don't dislike people. They dislike uncertainty. But here's the hidden cost. Carrying everything alone teaches the nervous system that the world isn't safe to lean on. And that belief slowly isolates them. Let's pause. None of these patterns mean you're broken. They mean you adapted. At some point, not asking for help protected you. It helped you survive emotionally. It kept you safe. But what once protected you may now be exhausting you. Here's the quiet danger. Avoiding help keeps your stress response activated longer. It keeps cortisol high. It keeps your body in handle-it-alone mode. And because society praises independence, no one questions it. Until the loneliness sets in. Until resentment grows. Until exhaustion becomes your baseline. And then people say, I don't know why I feel like this. Psychology knows why. So let's reframe something. Asking for help is not saying, I can't. It's saying, I don't have to. It's not dependence. It's regulation. Human nervous systems are designed for co-regulation, sharing emotional load. That's not weakness. That's biology. Strength isn't never needing support. Strength is knowing you're still worthy when you do. Here's a question worth sitting with. When you don't ask for help, what are you really protecting? Your image? Your control? Your independence? Or an old belief that needing others makes you unsafe? You don't need to answer out loud. Just notice what comes up. Change doesn't start by forcing yourself to ask for everything. It starts with awareness. Noticing the reflex to say, I'm fine. Noticing the discomfort when support is offered. Noticing the story your mind tells about need. That's where healing begins. And maybe, just maybe, the next time someone asks, do you want help? You'll pause long enough to answer honestly. So let me ask you, which pattern did you recognize? The hyper-independent? The self-worth earner? The image protector? The emotional container? The control seeker? How does this land for you? If this video resonated, stay here. We explore the psychology behind human behavior, without judgment, without labels. And I'm genuinely curious. When was the last time you needed help? And told yourself you didn't?